Okay, in this video we're going to go through some basics of making good graphics in Excel. This particular graphic is going to be a bar graph, but the principles apply to lots of different kinds of graphs you might make. So let's look at this data set right here. This is all fictional stuff, but we have grade letters and number of students who got those particular grade letters. Let's say it's for maybe final grades for all students in math classes in a particular semester. So I'm making a bar graph of this. I can highlight these two columns, click on insert. I'll pick a bar chart here, and I'm going to slide it over here for us to look at, and it looks fine. I'm going to do the same thing over here and click on this data. Perhaps these numbers are all smaller, notice. Maybe this is the final grades for just a particular set of math classes. Maybe like calculus classes or MA 101 for a particular semester. And so we can insert a bar chart, and I'll put it over here. Notice how these bar charts look very, very similar, although these numbers here are much smaller than these numbers here. One of the principles of good graphic making and also graphic interpretation when you see a graphic or consuming the graphic is to understand that when there's not a zero on the y-axis, the differences between bars can look exaggerated. Right now it looks like there's more than twice as many C's as there are A's, even though we can tell that that's not really true. Although on this side over here, since the zero is on the y-axis, it is actually true that there are way more C's than there are A's. It looks like it's more than 4 times as many, and indeed there is more than 4 times as many. So this is a good accurate graph. This one we should make adjustments to. If I click on those numbers and then right click, I can format my axis. And then right here, there's a lot of different things I can do, but the one we'll focus on is I can change the minimum to 0. Hit enter, and now in this graphic here, all those bars are somewhat the same height. We could almost call this a uniform distribution. It's slightly bell curved, but clearly there is not an enormous number more C's than there are A's. And there's a couple other things we can do to make this better. I can either click here, or I can click in chart design and add a chart element and add axis titles. So primary vertical, and then come here and do that again for primary horizontal. And so that I can click in here and call this grade letter. And then again, this data is made up, but we'll just call this number of students, and then I'll give it a good title. So let's just say all math final grades for a particular semester. For instance, it could be for the fall semester 2025. All right, and then that will give us a pretty good graphic. The title tells exactly what's going on, and then the axes are labeled, and there's a 0 here. All right, that's just some quick principles for making a good graphic using Excel, especially putting the 0 on the axis and labeling my axes and title well.